I'm just excited about, some of the learning tools, non-traditional, you might call them, that we've been talking about. A few weeks back, we talked about simulations, including classics like Oregon Trail, available for free. And then this week, last week we looked at some of the resources that might be appropriate for older students, including some for the high school sciences, that it can be really tough to find good, engaging online activities for the college bound science classes especially. And then this week, some fantastic learning resources for early learning. And I just excited about the potential now that almost all students have a device available to them in class, and more districts are allowing early learning students in K1, 2, to take their devices home. These kinds of tools like we're showing you today are really, I think, going to be a powerful influence in improving students' content area skills.
Okay, another INFOhio resource. It's amazing. Go ahead and explain it.
It's another totally free resource from INFOhio that has been, I would call it an upgrade. For years, we've had Storia, which is a Scholastic product, but Storia was put to sleep and changed into Scholastic Literacy Pro. So I got this email recently about all teachers have access to it, all Ohio teachers, and it's available for teachers in grades 3 through 6. Originally, they had it just for grade 4. Storia was grade 4, and then they added, I believe, last year, grades 5 and 6. So now it's grades 3 through 6, and I'll go into it in a second. I've got it
And
right.
it really takes off where BookFlex leaves off, which are
Exactly.
primarily for younger learners. There are some pre-reading, early learning things, and they've got a few books in the BookFlix, which is a wonderful program, a wonderful set of resources that extend up to 4th and 5th. But this really takes older for your emerging readers. And Judy, I do want to mention, and we can say this again at the end of this program, we are very glad to provide any school in Northwest Ohio, or could be any place online really, with instruction in how to use these, whether you want Judy to come directly to your school for an hour or two, or part of a full day in service, or to do it by live video. We'll be glad to provide you instruction and professional development with PD certificates in how to use Scholastic Literacy Pro from INFOhio. Absolutely no charge to you for that professional development, or for the PD certificate. No charge.
Right. Before we go into it, the main difference I see, besides the level of the books that are in Literacy Pro, is that there is assessments with these books. BookFlex, nice. The only assessments are these little game type things that they do have that are related, and they're great for what they are, but there's no student accounts, so there's no student accountability other than a teacher watching over a student's back while they're doing it or something, which is, time sensitive. So that's the difference I see. And plus, these are books with lots of words in them because they're grades 3 to 6. But the 3 main points of this is, the unlimited access to these 1,200 plus ebooks, and real-time reporting for the class, the school, the district levels, and these built-in assessments and comprehension checks. And so let's go right into INFOhio and see that what it looks like. And so it's under S for Scholastic Literacy Pro, and a teacher can go into the little I or the Learn More and get an access code. If they had Storia, if they were using it before and they had an account, they will automatically have a Scholastic Digital Manager account, and they won't have to apply for that access code. But if you're not sure, if you had it in the past, maybe you didn't really use it, you can click there and they will get back to you with an access code within the day. It doesn't take long. It's pretty automatic. And then there it says if you had an account, click on the Digital Manager, but it is totally free. And so I already have it open from the teacher view. Now you can put as many classes and as many students in there. And so I believe I have a demo class, but will not go right there now. But just to look at the books, you can put books in your My Books or do a book search. But I think this is more than just for in English language arts teachers, because there are so many subjects of these books, fiction and nonfiction, that almost every subject area teacher can find books that they could assign as part of their instruction. So they just start with A, and every time I come on, they will have different books for me. And you can see these are more, okay, let's do the Harriet Tubman one. But notice it is in Spanish. So they do have books that are in Spanish and English. Not every book has that. If you are looking for a book, let's just do K here, books that start with the reading level, keyword. Let's see what they have on ghosts. Okay. True ghost stories. Okay, there were no matches at any level of true ghost stories. So that just takes me back. Okay, let's just put maps. Okay. And these work really well on all the devices as far as looking to what device a student might be using, and will okay, we're having a little trouble reading. Usually it comes right up. Let's just do explore and read it now. Okay, I'm guessing that this is a fiction. And so the student can make it full screen. And again, you can zoom in. Student has some visual impairments. They can, and then of course they scroll down to get to it. They also can make sticky notes if they wanted to say maybe they don't know what that word is, I'm going to look it up later. They also can look at the chapters by hitting on the contents. And if they've taken any notes or highlights, they can click on there and see those. In fact, the teacher will try to, I would think, encourage the students to take notes on something they do not understand or something they really like. Well, but this is pretty much an image of the whole book. If there are pictures, it'll show the pictures on the pages. There's the full view that if you want to do.
Can you highlight things, Judy?
Yes. So if you highlight something, let me click off of that.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you said you could. I just couldn't.
Right. And so if you want to highlight something, and then you can make a note about that if you want to highlight, you can do a sticky note, and so then you can click on that, and then you can say who is Mama.
Yeah, that's cool. And so the highlight tool and the note tool mimics the online testing, some of the components.
Right.
And the zooming in and zooming out. So I like that it's similar to the online testing.
That sticky note was in the way, so you can drag those sticky notes over to the margins. So, and when you get to the end of the book, you can go to the quiz. It will say, are you ready to take the quiz? See, if you're in the teacher view, it will actually show you the questions and the answers to the book. So I'm not sure we're going to get to the
Can
end.
you drag the thing down at the bottom?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay. And you can also, there's a think more. And those are the questions.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Now, the students would, this is a teacher view. The students would not see this.
They'd see the question and have to
Right.
the correct answer. Yeah.
These are the think more questions, and they have 10 questions about the book. And
Judy, this is something I really, really like about this that you mentioned is missing in a lot of products is the assessment is right here. The teacher doesn't have to do anything. It's just automatically going to be available for the students to look and answer questions to verify, did they understand the concepts?
right.
A couple other things I want to highlight about this resource is it does integrate with both Google Classroom and Clever logins. Online tools don't have to integrate with your learning management system or login manager, but it sure is nice when they do. And this is one that does integrate very nicely. As you mentioned, to get the classroom management features and the access to all these resources, the teacher, you yourself need to get a free account that can take a few days. So, go in there, get registered for the free account, and then you can go ahead and start using all of these great resources with your students. And if you have any problems with the registration process or any questions about that, again, completely free to get to the resources and the teacher views that Judy's showing you here. Just contact us at NWET and we'll be glad to help you out with this. But just from an instructional strategy, one of the things I really, really like about this is if there's a wide range of resources, a wide range of topics, and a range of reading levels. And so, yeah, as a teacher, you can devise individual learning plans where each student is going to progress at their own rate, or you can do an entire class read of one particular book.
Right.
That can be a real challenge in your school library. What book has, what title do we have enough copies to give everybody?
Right.
Well, unlimited.
This is I mean, there are so many options when you set up the classes and you choose the books. You can let the students have free reign on all the books. You can put the students in groups. You can assign individual books to students or assign a book to the different groups, different books. And just to let you know about these questions, there are 30 questions on this book. And when the student takes the test, they will get 10 questions at randomly chosen. And the answers will be also not in the same order as you see here. The teacher can actually print these out. Say the teacher wants to go over the questions that the student missed or something. There's all these options, but on this one, there's 30 different questions and the students would get 10 random. So a student cannot write down the answers one and hand it to somebody else so that they can help their friend or something. That'll help prevent any cheating because you don't know what questions that person is going to get or what order they're in. So
yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like the upgrades. INFOhio is always moving forward with their already excellent resources. So this is a really nice addition to what they've already been doing and what they're going to continue to do with literacy and curriculum support. So
by the way, yeah, absolutely. Teaching tip on those questions I wanted to mention. As a teacher, I have found it very wise to read through all of the questions that the students might be presented, because sometimes a student is confused, or you may be, even if you've talked about the book, you may be even talked about it in a way a little bit different from the way the question is asked. And that way, as a teacher, you're not taken by surprise when somebody says, well, what were the good features of Captain Hook? What made him a good person? And you're going, I have no idea. You can take a look and you'll have already seen that question. So, it only takes literally not 5 minutes, probably not even 3 minutes to read through all of those questions. And it really pays off in helping you helping you be well prepared to deal with issues or concerns that students might have as they take the quiz.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just all these features, and if doing a professional development session with teachers, I definitely would try to go through all the different features of the books. And since it's just a new resource compared to story, it has a lot more in-depth features that I would want to demonstrate. And I look for INFOhio to also have one of their weekly or seminars that they do online, webinars that they will have recorded, and you always can find those on the INFOhio site. I haven't seen the new one from Literacy Pro, but I imagine that's going to be coming here in September. If it's, they've already planned. They pretty much have, and they also provide professional development certificates after a completion of a quiz that's usually 5 questions long. But you can get all kind of reports, and I don't have time to go into all the different kind of reports, and I'm not really up to on using it because this is just came out
Very new.
in the late August. I mean, we were not, you could see it, but you couldn't see all the different features, and you couldn't create classes. That was one thing I was waiting on. Now you can create classes, and they give the students passwords that are easy to remember. It's got a number in it, but it's got just common words. It's kind of interesting because I have 3 students in my demo class that haven't read any books yet. I've got to have them read some books, but and we probably can see the report will say Mickey, Minnie, and Donald do not have any books read yet. They're all in 6th grade. So we're going to do that. So I have something to demonstrate. And you can, the reports can be taken out as a spreadsheet format, that's CSV, or they can be printed. So you can find out how many minutes your students are reading, which is kind of neat, and how many books they've completed. You can see some of the things that's in the data. So
yeah, that's really awesome. And by the time we've stumbled through it a little bit and figured out the reports, you can reach out to Judy. You can email her with the email that's going to be at the end of this video. Email her and ask her what she's discovered about the reports, because it sounds like a really exciting, brand new, wonderful resource for her to explore and for her to be able to come out to your district and show that off to your students, or at least enlighten you so you can use it with your students in your classroom. So that's great. That's awesome. I always love to see those resources. And of course, I think about my kids and how it would benefit them and how much they love reading so much that this would even enhance that even a little bit more. So thank you, Judy, for sharing that resource. And as always, the resources and links to anything that we talk about, anything that'll help you understand this resource better, is going to be available on the link that you see on the video right there. And as always, reach out to us via email if you have any questions about integrating technology into your classroom. We're more than happy to help. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
I